A new month has started, and that means it's time to stuff all the $1 bills that I was able to set aside in April into the Letterbucks challenge. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back to Ready Budget Go. My name is Drew, and on this channel we talk about cash budgeting, saving money, and achieving our financial goals. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. So it's the first weekend of the month, first weekend of May, and this is when I stuff all of the $1 bills from the previous month into the Letterbucks challenge. If you haven't seen the Letterbucks challenge before, I'll explain it as we go along. So I've got my two binders out, but I'm going to set them aside so that I can sort the bills into their proper order. So when we talk about Letterbucks, what we're talking about is that each $1, every dollar bill, regardless of denomination in the US, is distributed from one of the 12 branches of the Federal Reserve Bank. So I'm going to look at the $1 bills because these are the most obvious. Every $1 and $2 bill has a big letter here. This one is a B, and B is for New York. So this came out of the Federal Reserve Branch in New York City. There are, like I say, 12 letters in all, A through L. C is for Philadelphia, F is for Atlanta, so on and so on. On the newer bills, you can still figure out which one it came from. It won't have the big letter here. That is substituted with the seal of the Federal Reserve. But the letter is over here. So this is an H buck, which is either St. Louis or Minneapolis. I can never remember which. This one is a G buck, which is Chicago. So I've saved a couple of fives this month in addition to this big pile of ones. So I'm going to set the fives aside, and the ones I'm going to sort into their separate letters. One other thing before I do is that if you watch other people with this challenge, some of them will say that it's where the bills were printed, and that's not correct. The US government prints our currency in two locations. One is in Washington, D.C., and the other is in Fort Worth, Texas. And how you can tell whether it was where it was printed is if it has a little FW, which I'll just show you here. Hopefully you can see this and it focuses. That means it was printed in Fort Worth. If it's like this bill and it doesn't have an FW down here in the bottom right, then it was printed in Washington, D.C. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing owns both facilities, runs both facilities, but those are the only two locations that print our currency as of today. Okay, so I've got the two $5 bills set aside. I'll come back to those later. The reason why I set these aside is, well, actually, I can't remember why I set the G aside, but the H I set aside because H's are really rare. H's, I's, and J's, which are for St. Louis, Minneapolis, and Kansas City, where I live, they're really hard to come by. So if I see one in another denomination, I may just set it aside. The G is for Chicago. Those are more common. I don't know why I put it to the side, but I did, so it's going in. All right, so everything else I'm just going to sort here. So I'm going to go through this as fast as I can. And you're going to notice that most of what I'm going to come up with is going to be L's, probably, just because San Francisco is the closest one to where I live in the Pacific Northwest. And like I say, the uncommon ones for me are H's, I's, and J's, whereas if you live in the Midwest, you probably see those a lot more often than I do. But it's not an even distribution. So, for example, San Francisco, Atlanta, Chicago, those are all big banks. Dallas, too, which is K. So they get a lot more bills than the others. So there's just more of them in circulation. A's aren't very common either. A's are Boston, and it's not that far from Boston to New York, so there just isn't as many of those. Plus, I'm all the way on the other side of the country, so for them to get all the way over here requires quite a journey. Okay, yeah, so the L's are stacking up. I'm getting quite a few B's as well. These fives threw me off with what pile I was putting those in, so I'll just set them further over to the side here. Not a lot of C's this month. And a couple of D's. Okay, so I didn't have any I's, that's not uncommon, only one H and one J, and again, those are the rare ones. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack these back up into alphabetical order. And if I haven't told you before, or if you're new, I am doing this challenge for Christmas spending. So I'm setting aside every $1 bill that I get. Ooh, a whole bunch of D's this month. Every $1 bill that I get in change, I am setting aside and putting into this challenge. I don't spend a lot of cash, but when I do, I try to get as many $1 bills back as I can so that I have more to stuff into this challenge. And now I'm also watching on the 5s and 10s for H's, I's, and J's, just because I will put those in if I see them. Okay, so I'm going to set these to the side, and I'll have to remember to pull them back in when we get to those letters. So I'm going to take out the first binder, and we'll start stuffing the A through F bucks here in just one sec. All right, I've got the first binder out, and let's see how many we can stuff today. If you'd like this challenge for yourself, it's available on my Etsy shop. You can use these in two different ways. They're glossy printed, or printed on glossy paper rather. So you can either make each letter count for $1, and that will save you $25 when you complete the whole card, or you can break it up into each individual line. There's 15 on each, and 15 times 25 is, gosh, 375, I think. So each full card would save you 375. It really depends on if you want this to last a very long time or if you're looking for quicker wins. Okay, so let's see how many A-Bucks there are this week or this month. 1, 2, 3 of them. And I'm using green. It's over here. I was trying to alternate between red and green, but then I used red for both January and February, so now I'm using green for both March and April. Okay, so 3 of them. So I'm not going to color in the full letter just because that will take me a while. I like to be precise, and I'm not very good at coloring. But I'll mark them here just to indicate that I need to color those 3. And then we should have a total of 10 A-Bucks in the envelope. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So that's all good. So I'll put these back in and the tracker. And I'll come back and fill in the rest of those letters offline. So now let's see how many B's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 B's. And we'll be almost done with this tracker because I needed 9 to make a full 25. So I'll just mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because that's what I had, right? I had 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, okay. So one more left to go. So hopefully I will get a B-Buck in May, and then in June, this will be complete and it can go into the Christmas fund. But let's count and make sure that there's 24 B-Bucks in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. So 24 B-Bucks. And any of these that aren't complete by the time that Christmas rolls around, I will just pull the money. And I may start this challenge over again next year. Some folks who do the Letterbucks save the letters, each one for a different thing. So C might be for Christmas, D might be for your dogs, K might be for your kids, what have you. But I decided that I was going to put everything toward Christmas. And I'm just separating them to make it kind of fun and to see which ones that I get. So I've got 2 C-Bucks this month. And C-Bucks we don't see very often. These are from Philadelphia. So I'm just going to color 2 here, and we should have 10 in the envelope. Let's see here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 C-Bucks. And usually these A's, B's, and C's, by the time they find me on the West Coast, they're pretty grody. They've seen some travel, so. All right, D-Bucks we had a ton, and we needed only 1 left to finish. So let's take that 1 out and count up and make sure that we've got 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So that's done. So I am going to fill in the full D on this one, just because it's the last one in the tracker. And I may not be terribly careful here or complete. Okay. So that is D number 25. So these will go to my savings account, or well, not really a savings account. It is a savings account, but I'm not using it for long-term savings. I'm using it just to stash money for Christmas. So, all right, so that's done. Now I need to get another D tracker out here. There we go. There's another D. And I'm going to write in here that this is for Christmas 2025. And then let's see how many more Ds I've got. There's a big pile of Ds this month, so let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 D-Bucks. And these are Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. So, of course, I forget how much I just counted. It was either 10 or 11. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So I'm going to mark 11 of these Ds, which is going to be all the way to here. And I will come back and fill it in fully later, offline, because otherwise this video would be an hour long. Okay, let's go back to the D envelope. We'll put in the 11 D-Bucks and our brand new tracker. Well, only if it wants to go in. There we go. All right, E-Bucks. E's are also kind of rare here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 E-Bucks. Yep, 4 E-Bucks. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. E's are Richmond, Virginia. And we should have 12 in here, if the tracker is right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And these E-Bucks are pretty gross too. But they spend as well as crispy new ones from the San Francisco Federal Reserve, which usually if I get brand new $1 bills, they're L's from San Francisco. All right, F-Bucks. F is Atlanta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay. And F's, I had 10, so it should be up to 14 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's give it a quick count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Sure enough, that's what we've got. Okay. So that's it for this binder. I'm going to set this aside. I will bring out the second half binder and we'll get stuffing the G through L bucks here next. Here we are in the second half binder, and this is where I keep the G's through L's. So let's pop open to the G's. And this month, I am adding 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. 9 G-Bucks. Ha 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 ha, as the count would say. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's only 3 more to go, which means I should have 22, including the 5. So let's give it a count here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Perfect. So we'll put the tracker away. H bucks, I've got one lonely $1 bill and the $5 bill, so I'm going to be marking off 6 of these this month. And I didn't have any last month because there's no green on this tracker. So H's are super rare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5. Yep. So I should have a total of 9. 7, 8, 9. So that's indeed what we do have. H's go back. I know that I've had more H and I $5 bills, but I let them slip through my fingers, and then I thought, well, that's silly. You're never going to complete a tracker with $1 bills alone, at least not within the year. So why not save some of the larger bills when they come up for those? And so that's what I've decided to do. No iBucks. I had one last month, and that was the only iBuck that I've seen all year long. So I's incredibly rare. J's also rare. I've got one this month, and that will be my 6th for the year. So I'm just going to fill this in fully now, just so that I don't have to go back to the tracker again, and there's only the one. I had 3 of them last month, and I could hardly believe it, but this month, just the one. Okay, so there's my J, and we should have 5 more in here for a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 6. So the J's are now correct. Well, they were correct before, but now they're updated. Okay. K's used to be the second most common, and then I started saying they were the second most common, and it hasn't been true since. So K's, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 K's. K's are Dallas, Texas. If I didn't mention, the J's are from Kansas City, Missouri. So 4 Ks. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. So I had a little bit of a bumper crop on Ks last month. I had 7 of them, but in January and February combined, I had just 1. So let's give it a count. We should be up to 12 K bucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And these ones are pretty gross too. Even though they didn't have to come as far as those ones from New England and the East Coast, they're just kind of grody. But I think ones don't last very long just because of how many times they get used and how often they're used. All right, L-Bucks. We've got one lonely L-Buck in here plus a placeholder because we finished these once already. And I've got a pretty big stack of them to put in for this month. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count those again. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 of them. Okay. So I'm not going to count the whole pile because we know there's only one in here plus that placeholder. So I'm just going to mark off 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we'll have 11 total plus the 25 that's already in the bank. And I'm glad I'm doing this challenge today because it reminds me that I need to transfer that money. I put it into my checking account with the forethought that I would be transferring it over into the high yield later, and I didn't do it. I don't usually keep money in my high yield checking account or high yield savings account rather that I know I'm going to need relatively soon, like within the next year, just because it's harder to access. But the high yield savings account also allows me to designate different sub accounts for different purposes. So I have my emergency fund in there. I have another goal called the big move is in there, and the Christmas fund will also be in there. So it'll be its own pot of money. So I will get that $25 transferred. I will add in $25 more from the Letterbucks challenge from the D-Bucks for this month, and then I should be good to go for June. You can see that this binder is a lot thinner than the other one, just because some of the letters in here, I just don't see that often. But that's it for this month. I will have a video coming out at some point in the near future, hopefully the next couple of weeks, that describes how I'm funding Christmas this year, because this is just one of the ways that I'm doing it. My goal this year is to fund Christmas using what I would call found money. These are the kinds of things that would normally just slip through our fingers. So the $1 bills that you get in change is one way. Also, all of the spare change that I'm getting, gift cards, and a couple of other things that I'm doing as well. So I'll have a full video describing all of that. So look for that at some point later on this month. And in the meantime, I will be back on Monday for game night. Wednesday will be Savings Challenge books. And then I'll be right back here at the end of next week, or the end of this week, I guess, by the time you see it, for my weekly budget update. And you'll get to see exactly how I did with the first week of May for my income and my spending. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Leave me a comment down below. If you'd like to get these Letterbucks trackers for yourself or the placeholders, they are both available in my Etsy shop. They are professionally printed and will be shipped to you as a physical product. So again, thank you for watching, and until I see you in the next one, take care.